the Division I Boys Basketball Provincial Championship. The semis are coming up in T-minus 1.
Hello and welcome to the.
Let him do his bit, and then when he quiets down, then because they can't hear us too well over that, I found. Okay.
Your host team, the Armbrae Ospreys. Before we begin today's amazing festivities, a brief land acknowledgement. Dalhousie University is located on the unceded and ancestral land of the Mi'kmaq First Nations people. Mi'kmaq is still home to many Mi'kmaq peoples, the original caretakers of this land. We are all treaty peoples. We also recognize that African Nova Scotians are a distinct people whose histories, legacies, and contributions have enriched that part of Mi'kmaq known as Nova Scotia for over 400 years. In T-minus 20 seconds, we'll get the starting lineups for this battle of the best of the best right here in NS.
Hello and welcome to the last game of day 2 of the SS&S Boys Varsity Division I Provincials. This game will be between the number 1 seeded Armbrae Ospreys and the number 5 seeded CPA Allen Cheetahs. Starting for Armbrae will be number 1 Renai Beals, number 5 Nye Johnson, number 4 Ollie Nadeau, number 6 Jalen Berglund Simmons, and number 10 Dion Cat. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of a technical difficulty there. As I was saying, the starting lineup for the CP Allen Cheetahs will be number 11, Deshaun David, number 12, Keegan May, number 21, Jacoby McDonald, number 32, Alistair Land, and number 3, Caleb Anderson. Should be an intense matchup, a rematch of the Halifax semis.
Yeah, and this is going to be an interesting game as we mentioned yesterday. CP Allen are with a different group of kids, 3-time defending provincial champions. So there's a pride factor there, and as you saw yesterday, they play a different kind of game from probably the other 3 Metro semifinalists here, but they're very capable of what they do. Both teams very well coached. I'm looking forward to seeing how this one unfolds. And there's Mr. Land. Over to you.
Nice 3 there, sunk by their big man in the center, Alistair Land. Now, hopefully it should be a very intense and close game between these two teams. Quick bucket there for Jalen at the rim.
Jalen does one of his strengths, which is penetration and finish.
Caleb taking up the ball. David looking around, trying to wait for the play to develop. It is CP Allen basketball.
What we're hoping in this game in terms of the officiating is that they will, the first game very well officiated in terms of letting the kids play, letting them be. You know, basketball is a contact sport. It's not a collision sport. They allowed the kids to be physical, play legitimately within the rules of the game, and use their athleticism. If this one goes that way too, it'll be a nice one to watch.
100%. Mae Johnson had some great defense there, stripping Alistair Land. And no, you're right. This CP Allen team, as we saw yesterday when they played Horton, play a very different style. They're not like the other teams that are more high-powered offense. This team seems to pride themselves on their defense and hustle, and they will win games by keeping the score lower.
Yeah, and very disciplined O, very disciplined D, and very team-oriented. Both these teams very team-oriented.
100%. CP Allen not having that high-powered offense that they once had, so they rely more on their high-end defense, their scheme fit, and knowing that they play together and knowing how each other play.
And May doing what he does, and he is a difference maker. Oh,
Nice.
Great spin move in traffic by Jalen.
That was a great move.
Yeah.
Quick steal there for Renai. He's taking it to the rim and will lay it in to give the
That
Ospreys
spot
the
where the
lead.
ball was caught there by Deshaun, that's what I call the coffin corner, and now you've seen why.
Yeah, 100% you can see that. Not a good spot. You do not want to catch it there. Another steal. Armbrae just, their press, very efficient.
Overshoots it, though. Berglund Simmons. Okay. Yeah, early going, both teams playing their kind of signature style so far, right? As you indicated how CP Allen wants to play, and we're seeing how Armbrae wants to play, defensively particularly. There's a reach.
That'll be the first foul of the game, I'm assuming on Jalen Berglund, which it is.
Foul is on number 6, Jalen Berglund Simmons for the Ospreys. CPA possession.
When we see both teams had sizable wins in their first game, but did not tell the true story of the other team, as Horton had a low-scoring game against CP Allen, then proceeded to had a very, I believe, 90-point game against the River Ravens, while Armbrae beat the CEC Cougars by about 50, and then the CEC Cougars turned around and had a 1-point game with the North Nova Griffins.
Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of that is about matchups too, right? Just in terms of how each team matches up with different kinds of opponents at different times.
Very nice. Great steal there by Nate Johnson. He takes it to the rim and just off the mark on his finish. But will get fouled.
Probably, yeah, Anderson over the back.
Sorry. He's good on the first one. And the winner of this game will go on to take on the Citadel Phoenix, who had just beat the Millwood Knights right before this.
In a great game.
Very good game. And I'm checking on. The loser will take on North Nova. I just wanted to double check on that. They will take on North Nova at 10 a.m. tomorrow for a chance to be in the bronze medal game. Air ball by David,
Air
but
ball,
Jacoby.
but again.
You know, he was a big aspect last game. Jacoby was big hustle guy, had a couple great buckets. Big thing was his defense. He slowed down Sam Moore to a halt.
He also made some real key hoops for them yesterday throughout the game, sort of interspersed throughout the game, but at many key moments he stepped up and scored.
100%. I expect nothing less from the grade 11, I believe. Nice three there. Putting the still only ran a one-possession game as Nye takes it up and lays it in for two.
Yeah, the quick feet and hands of Armbrae. Pressure on ball, great pressure on passing lanes.
Nice triple a little bit over as Ollie begins to start taking it up the court.
Nye Johnson rebounds from the long miss from the foul line.
Okay. And if you're CP Allen, you do not want to be giving Armbrae these second chance opportunities. It's hard enough to stop them when they don't have these second chances. That is their fourth offensive rebound, I believe.
I was going to say they're now on their fourth opportunity, right? Yeah.
And then Land finally grabs it. But if you're CP Allen, you can't do that consistently because they will hit one of those shots.
Yeah, and the other thing is eventually you'll get in foul trouble. Now Armbrae playing sort of a loose 1-2-2 zone, but they're still getting in passing lanes. They're matching, as the lower aspects of it, they're matching cutters.
For sure. And
but May is, again, as you know, I think is an offensive key for CP Allen.
He is. Jump ball there. Great play by David. Not going to overreach or try and swipe at it. Just make sure he has the ball. Quick sub.
Right now, I'd say this game, even though CPA are down by 3, I'd say is probably going kind of the way they want it to go.
Elijah Mantley subs in for the Ospreys with another New Jersey number. He wore 15 throughout most of the year, wore 8 yesterday, and now is wearing the number 3 today.
It's a mystery.
Just testing the water, seeing what he feels like. Also, for the CPA Allen Cheetahs, number 2, Jaquan Jackson subbed in for them for Caleb Anderson. As I said yesterday, they are both two very young, solid guards. They will kind of split time, and both are very good. 11-1 game, very close game up until this point.
Penetration, but again, now Elijah following up. Yeah, Armbrae are having trouble finishing. They're getting there, but they're doing a lot of near misses. But they're getting old boards, as you pointed out.
For sure. Jaquan looking to see what he can get. There's David. As I said yesterday, although three-point is not the main part of his game, he is a 3-level scorer. He can't hit that 3 ball.
Well, the interesting thing is that he and, of course, the opening 3 by Land are both somewhat out of character from what we've seen of them. But, again, playoff basketball, kids get amped up, adrenaline kicks in. Adrenaline is a wonderful teammate sometimes.
Foul there was on Keegan May. Only his first foul, so nothing to worry about there. And a sub coming in from number 14, Nolan Small, will sub into the game. Beal's just off on the first one.
But old boards again.
That's the thing. Armbrae is owning the offensive board, so even though those shots aren't falling first try right now, they are getting those second chance shots. And CPA Allen's going to have to tighten that because there's going to be a point where they aren't going to miss all these second chance shots. They're going to make all of them, and that's when
Now, Renai didn't get great rhythm on that three-point take. Nice kick, nice board and kick by Dion, but Renai didn't quite get his best rhythm on the attempt.
100%.
And the free throw is very rare to see him miss 2 free throws.
Very much.
There's
a little bit far in Jackson's 3 as Mantley starts to take it up.
Renai trying to find a range, but I think he's going to get to have a conversation with the coaching staff.
I would say so. Another offensive rebound.
Elijah Mantley
coming off the bench,
but
and
again,
it's been a great offensive rebound from there again. Oh, bit too much.
Elijah off, Ollie off, and gets fouled.
They're doing.
Again, that's what I was saying, and they're just, there's a lid on the basket for them right now. But if you give them that many opportunities, eventually you will end up fouling them.
100%. A couple subs in for the Ospreys.
Is
Number
that May's
2.
second?
That is his second foul.
That's something to keep an eye on because, again, he is crucial to CP Allen's offensive attack.
100%. They cannot have him getting in foul trouble, especially they cannot have him picking up a third before halftime. But number 2, Cale Brown, first appearance for the Ospreys, and number 5, Nate Johnson back into the game.
Perfect in the line. And here comes the pressure.
Yeah, here we go. No one's cutting for him, and there we go. Small finally came and actually cut. Land slips a little, but he's good. And chip by Nye.
Nice cut by CP Allen, defended well by Nye Johnson on that back cut.
Number 21, Clark Bryan, subbing in for the Ospreys. You said yesterday they only sub in about 6 man typically, so is this weird to see 8 in the first quarter?
They've started with both Clark Bryan and Cale Brown. You might see them a little earlier in the games than had been the case for, say, the first 2/3 of the season or so.
And David puts it back off the miss. Great hustle by him to get that offensive board and just go right back up to make this a tie game.
So far, boards have been crucial at both ends.
100%. Both teams are doing great jobs at offensive rebounding, not so much on the defensive glass, however. And a good block there by Small.
Whoa. Got to get out of the key. All in the dough. Doesn't go.
Bit too far there. Pulled it from about the
That was
logo,
a
but didn't
shot
have
clock.
time.
You know, he had to get one up with the shot clock.
100%.
Although that is also his range when he's on.
Land looking for somebody to cut.
Whoop. May.
And May take, with that layup, they take the lead.
Yeah.
Very much.
Nye Johnson tried to shoot the gap, was just a little bit off, and that was enough for May to catch, step by, and then do what he does very, very well.
Nadeau nails it. Refs call it just a jumper.
Yeah, inadvertent, you know, but they have to call that.
It's only his first foul, so not really in foul trouble. And number 21, Jacoby McDonald, is subbing back in for the CPA Allen Cheetahs, giving Alistair Land a little break. And there we go. Timeout called by the Cheetahs. Tie game.
Big thing so far, both teams are being getting. CPA Allen, I would say, is scoring pretty much the way they normally do, other than the two uncharacteristic threes, both Deshaun and Alistair. They're not typically three-point takers, let alone makers. So for Alistair to open with that very pure long-distance three was an interesting opening. And then Deshaun hit that corner three, which again is not typically what I've seen of his game. Land very much doing what he, or not sorry, Land, but Keegan May doing very much what he does. And he probably has, I'm guessing, 6 or 7 or more of their points right now. At this end, Armbrae, who do typically do very well on the O boards, but they're not being able to finish. It's that simple. And they've also uncharacteristically missed some free throws, percentage-wise, for the individual taking. So right now, this is very much playoff basketball. As I said, even when CPA Allen were trailing by 3-12-9, CPA Allen are very pleased with how this game is going. They've got to stay out of foul trouble. They can't afford for May to get his third. But other than they've got to try to do a better job cleaning up their D boards. But right now, they have to be pleased with the way this is going.
May, great
May
take
again.
to the rim.
Nice drop, step, and take.
May has been a big the main offensive running and power horse kind of for the CPA Allen Cheetahs offense. They cannot afford him to get that one foul. Beal showing off his shiftiness, but did not work out.
Again, struggling to finish.
Owning the offensive boards, though, continually. And there we go.
That was
Beal.
the purest three he's taken so far. Actually, it was purer than either of his free throws.
That is, I'm assuming, what he's typically like. He had a little bit of a rocky start.
He can be inconsistent from three. He's extremely good at the penetration, and he's usually very effective from the free throw line. Whoop, there's turnover.
Just tripped. Coward tries to take
Got himself
it,
off balance.
CPA Allen basketball.
I think he was a little unsure whether should I take it or should I dish to Nye kind of thing, and then he got himself into an off-balance individual positioning there.
Chiefs will have one shot. They should have last shot unless they turn it over or shoot it early. Jackson's looking for a screen.
Nice
Wide
take.
open. Great take.
Defended well. Uh-oh. Not sure what happened there.
Hard to tell, but I think Jaquan may have gotten him. I'm not sure. It looked like he got kneed somewhere, but honestly, I couldn't really
You think
tell.
so? Okay, yeah, because I didn't see any kind of twist, turn, that kind of contact or anything like that, so no ankle or knee that I could see.
I couldn't even see past the...
We'll have to see when he gets up, but I thought he got kneed, but I very much could be wrong because someone ran right in front of me kind of as he went down.
Nadeau is, I mean, Nadeau is clearly a key player, especially defensively.
All right.
Okay, he's back up. Everything seems all the joints seem to be functioning. So
Looking like that, I can now say what I thought may have happened. It looked like Jackson either kneed him to the gut or he kind of kneed him in the gonads.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of what happened there, especially where he's not limping on one side or the other. I'd say he
from
just
what you said, I was anticipating that might have been your interpretation, and I couldn't see it when it happened. So
I saw him hit him, and then I saw him go down. So I was like, it could be worse, but I didn't want to go to conclusions until I saw him actually get up and see if he was limping on one side or the other.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't see any kind of awkward landing on ankle or knee or anything like that. So, you know, good. Let's hope he take a few deep breaths and recover.
Because they will need him. Hasn't done a ton. I don't think he scored yet this game, but he is a giant part of this Osprey team.
Well, remember he did. I think he
him
did hit. Didn't he hit the one long two over here in the left corner?
Oh yes, he did. My bad. He has the one.
And I believe he knocked down a couple of free throws.
May's looking to go. May's playing tight defense on him, not trying to give May any room.
May is tough. May is tough, but there's a tough D. Got it back.
Another three.
Oh, if that continues, that's a factor.
As I was saying, I know he's not known for it, but Deshaun David can knock that down if you leave him open. So Armbrae can't leave him open. That's as simple as that's his second three already.
But I would almost bet they haven't game planned to defend him from three. So
I would definitely say so. You don't see him take a ton typically, but we've seen him take a couple now.
Whoop.
Jacoby with a strong take to the rim, but misses. Offensive
might have been, you know, there's, sloppy.
Underhand pass, just threw it too low.
Yeah. The underhand thing also put the wrong spin and the wrong weight on the pass, is why Dion couldn't handle it. Pick, not quite. May. Yeah.
That'll be a foul, I assume, on Dion Coward, which it is. That is his first foul. It is.
And this is one of the factors, again, looking before the game. Defensive rebound would be a factor you'd anticipate, and staying out of foul trouble. Important for Armbrae. What we would not have anticipated is the three-point shooting that we've seen from both Land and Deshaun so far.
100%. If there's someone shooting threes for this team, it is typically Jacoby McDonald, which we haven't actually seen him shoot a three yet this game, but he has had that nice take to the rim. You're going to feel his presence no matter where it is on the court. He is a very talented player. Once again, getting another strong bucket at the rim. You are going to know he is there.
Open three, knocks it down. That's signature Coward. Nice drive and kick that time by Beal. Armbrae are not, they're being affected by the way CP Allen are playing. And they're not getting the easy turnovers. And CP Allen are hitting shots. So
Land another three.
Nope. Nice find.
Oh, nice and one for Mantley.
Yeah. Beautiful fine cross grain there by Dion. That Elijah is open, but he's in traffic. You had to really thread that and put great touch on it to make it happen. And then Elijah finished very solidly.
100%.
In other words, CP Allen were working very hard as a team to do all the right things. So it needed a real good offensive play to score there.
So sub in for the CP Allen Cheetahs. Quan Jackson went out for a little bit for number 3, Caleb Anderson. You see them getting subbed out for each other a lot. They play the same position for sure, but they have a lot of similarities. I think Caleb's probably the better defender.
They both played well so far in this game. Yeah,
very solid players.
Doing exactly what CP Allen requires of them. And again, this guy, I think, is the key for CP Allen offensively.
Great offensive rebound by Caleb.
They're getting the loose balls so far.
And there we go. Oh, off the mark.
Big rebound. He was actually outnumbered by CP Allen on the boards that time.
So the fact that he can pull that down is very big.
No.
Offensive rebound again, though, for the Ospreys.
There's Coward.
And that's why you can't give the Ospreys those second chance, because they weren't making them early, but they will start to make those second chance opportunities.
And Coward and Nadeau, Elijah at times, Renai at times, but Coward and Nadeau are the two most reliable three-point makers. Good D. Nice strong take, left-handed kid, well defended.
Well, that was great defense by Coward. Not trying to foul him, just went straight up. You'll end up taking it. They have 9 seconds that they have to get a shot up in. A lot of time on the clock. And he got fouled. Bad foul there, Elijah.
Yeah. Going line for three. If that had gone, we would know there was something in the water today, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
But he now has 3 opportunities to the line.
And Nadeau is going back into the game right now, lined up at the score.
Yeah, I think he needed. I think your call was probably almost certainly accurate, just from.
Goes 1 for 2. Looking to make this a 1-point game if he makes this one. Which he does.
Knocks down 2 of them.
There we go. Nadeau now subs into the game for Mantley.
Mantley, good shift, as they say in hockey. He contributed mightily while he was out there.
So that was very good effort by him.
Dribble handoff action on the perimeter. A little bit of contact, but again, the refs are letting the kids play, which is good.
Yeah, I'd always prefer letting them play than overcalling it. I always find that's better.
Pardon?
It's always better if a ref would rather let them play more than overcall the game.
Yep, absolutely. Can't quite finish. Okay. The psychology of playoffs is interesting, and what's happening right now, because in their matchups thus far this season, Armbrae they've had those runs, and they've opened a gap and won by reasonably, decent margins over CPA. But when you asked me before the game, and I said it depends, right? And what it depended on is what we're seeing. CPA right now are playing absolutely the way they have to play.
They do. If they keep playing like this, there's no reason that they can't win this game.
Is that Renai's first?
That is only his first. No one has more. Outside of May, everyone has one.
Darn. I think May have turned an ankle there.
Yeah, he's limping a little bit. They need to get.
He struggled to hold positioning so that he wouldn't get travel, but I think he may have turned an ankle in doing it.
Yeah.
Let's see if he can shake it off. It's his left ankle, I believe.
Yeah. There's a little fade there. He seems to be trying to play
through it. There's Elijah
it.
back on and immediately makes a bucket.
May a little bit off, but Jacoby gets up and puts it back off the May. That's the kid. I keep saying it. I'll keep saying it. He is everywhere. You always see his impact when he's on the court.
Renai, but too far under. Well defended.
May rolled his ankle, but he seems like he's playing through it, and the coach is letting him play through it. No subset to come to the table.
Let me see. The question is, because he will take you left with authority, I think the ankle affected that play. So he may need to, they're going to try to figure it out. Yeah, he may need to come off and get a little bit of attention.
Yeah, they're trying
obviously a competitor, because that move he just attempted is very tough on 2 ankles, let alone 1.
No, he's just trying to. They're trying to give him a little break. He's going right over to the table to get checked out. And number 2, Jaquan Jackson. Typically, him and Caleb aren't next to each other, but in this scenario, when May has to be out of the game, makes sense that they're both.
Step back 3 by Coward. I believe that's his 3rd 3, is it not?
I believe so.
Yeah, and they've been, when he's on, that's what his 3 looks like. Pretty pure, pretty compressed. Doesn't want to get the foul on that. Land trying to bowl his way through, but ends up losing the handle. Well defended.
Ospreys possession.
Nice find. Brown not really regularly a three-point maker. Doesn't take a lot of them, actually. Whoa.
Dion. Tripped over there, but did not affect the shot.
You can kind of tell he's on today because that was almost a turned ankle.
Little stumble did not affect him whatsoever.
Got himself back in perfect balance, though. And pure. Jump, split, doesn't finish.
Great idea by Davey. Just got tipped right before he could shoot it.
Well done.
Oh, great take there by Mary.
We're seeing Dion Coward kind of show you what his game can be, right? Because he's not simply a three-point maker. He's struggled to finish so far today, which is kind of uncharacteristic. He's getting himself a little bit over-revved, off balance, a little bit too upright. But makes free throws, makes threes, can make pull-ups, and can find people, which is what he just did there. Elijah Mantley has come to contribute today. He's nothing flashy, but he's finished inside at a very high percentage 3 or 4 times now, I believe.
He really is.
But, okay, Armbrae has a little bit of, certainly the biggest lead they've had, 39-31. And you could tell emotionally they struggled to get this right now. CP Allen very much was having this game go the way they want it. With this timeout, what CP Allen wants to do is come up with how can we play next possession, next one possession at a time. How can we get the game back to where we had it in terms of how the game is played? Got to take care of the ball. If we can draw fouls against Armbrae, great. Got to defend our boards like our lives depend on it, because our competitive lives do today. Because Armbrae now has begun to finish some of those takes that they were getting but not making earlier, which again added to their psychological pressure on themselves.
Jaquan trying to take the ball up right now. Being guarded very tightly by Brown. Great
Nice
take there by David, high off the glass.
I think it was actually partly deflected, but by going as high as he did, he gave it a chance to get in. Now Armbrae playing much better pressure man-to-man D now. The zone earlier, I think, wasn't working well for them. Whoa.
Coward was looking for the foul a bit there.
No.
That's back to Jaquan.
Nice cross. Loses the handle once he gets in the paint, though. Nice cut, nice find.
Oh,
Got
hard foul. So that will be on, yep, number 11, Deshaun David. It's his first foul.
But so far, CPL and other than May have been able to spread the fouls out, yes? I think both teams have, yep.
And there you go, May. They can't afford him to be out for long. He was out for about probably a minute and a half. And all of a sudden it went
I don't
from
see any
being
signs
down
of
one
tape
to
or
down.
anything, so yeah, maybe just let's see what you can do.
Maybe just need a little bit of a break. Need to rest the ankle for a second before getting back out there. Coward nails it, and now Renai Beal subs in for him.
Probably a good sub. Dion's been physically working very hard, took a couple of hard hits there, so probably a nice idea to give him a bit of a blow. Ah.
Good steal there by Renai. It's going up to the top to Jalen. Back to Beals.
In and out.
In and out. May trying to go to work.
There's May, nice.
And land with the and one.
May, very effective, right to left cross. And on that one, nice little backhanded bounce snap to land cross grain. Well, just very well executed. Well seen, well executed.
Sure.
Who was that foul on?
That foul was on number 4, Ali Nadeau. Just his first. No Armbrae player has, all of them have one. Just they're spread out pretty even. They have 6 players with fouls, but all have one, so none are in real foul trouble.
Simmons swatted away by Bland.
Make an impact both sides. Got the and one down there, and now the shot block on the other end.
Yeah. That's actually, in my view, most games, that's a higher percentage play for Ernai than the pure 3, unless he gets on. When he gets on, then yes, the 3's solid. But you've seen him, he sort of will take some threes when he hasn't quite found his range yet. But the pull-up and the step-through finish, he's very tough to defend. Almost picked off by Deschamps. Should be moving the ball, but haven't yet.
And I've noticed that with Caleb. He's not the biggest, but he is always hustling, giving constant energy.
I think Jalen had a plan in mind because he dealt with some shaky traffic back in the backcourt and then drove, and nice little cross-screen dish to Kale. Yeah, here comes May.
Got blocked by Nadeau. That's his second block of the game.
Yeah. Whoa. Got it back.
Oh.
Tried a little too.
Doing a little bit too much there.
Finesse there. Drive. Nice cross. Oh, doesn't go. Got it back. Yep.
And even though he doesn't give up on plays, even though he missed the shot, he's still offensive rebound right back
Nice first take, and he got himself into position for what happened next. Too much, yeah. Good board. And we got the foul on the 3 here by Anderson, I believe.
That's his second, so not necessarily in trouble, but definitely has to watch himself now. And Nadeau will go to the line for 3.
My guess is that at halftime, part of Armbrae's discussion will be who takes what kinds of shots. Because again, kids are kids. They get fired up. They want to, contribute to the team. But sometimes some players end up trying stuff that is outside of their game, really. Again, we've seen it successfully happen for Deschamps twice at least today. But we'll see whether that sustains over 40. But I would think, although they've got a chance, well, 46-37, 9 margin right now. Let's see what this possession brings. And then we'll talk briefly before we go away for half.
Have 10 seconds to get a shot up, and they pick it away.
Brown knocked it loose, but it's back. Anderson's good. Somebody's going to have to fire under pressure. No.
This time.
Okay. I think May's ankle is a factor, because he's going to play, and he's a competitive kid, but his game needs 2 feet to do, because he's such a penetrator. And to get there, and to finish the way he does, is going to be very hard on an ankle that isn't fully functional. Now again, we'll see whether the halftime helps him get recovery on that. Anything they can do, they will obviously try to do. What I already said about shot selection by different individuals for Armbrae is a factor. I do think psychologically the way CPA was able to open the game was, from their point of view, absolutely what they were seeking. Armbrae, you could tell, they got rattled a little bit because they're a team that, as I said to you yesterday before you saw them the first time, they live off those blasts, right? They'll just go on a run, which is like a blistering run, sometimes like double digits in like a minute and a half. CP Allen not giving them any of those. Plus, which if you remember, to open the game, Armbrae had all sorts of relatively, easy opportunities, good, well-angled, good position opportunities. Couldn't finish, right? So then that adds to their psychological pressure on themselves. CP Allen took great advantage of that. And again, I think the ankle turn for May, hopefully it isn't a big turning point, but it's a factor. So should we go away and get some water? Okay.
Hello and welcome back to second half options in this gold medal crossover between the Ospreys and the Cheetahs. So far, not too many foul problems for the Ospreys. They have a couple different players with one. Number 1, Renai Beals. Number 4, Ollie Nadeau. Number 5, Nate Johnson. Number 6, Jalen Berglund Simmons. Number 10, Dion Coward. And number 3, Elijah Mantley. All have 1 foul. While for the CPA Allen Cheetahs, 2 for Caleb Anderson and for Keegan May, and 1 for Deshaun David and Jaquan Jackson.
Great action on the old boards by Coward that point. And
Beals.
there's Renai finding the 3.
It's a big
Now, Armbrae showing you a 2-2-1 look. They'll match up out of that. And they'll look to, if they can get you, in particular in the coffin corners, they'll blind trap you from behind. If they can get you to go dead on any sideline or corner, they'll come and double that down and shoot the gap on the passing lanes.
For sure. Deshaun looking to continue his first half scoring success, but cannot against Dion Coward.
Well defended, but okay. That's an angle if he, yep.
Beals
Oh,
got blocked
well,
by Jacoby.
Great hustle. He had the angle for the drive, and Jacoby hustled hard and got back and took it away. We saw a lot of that, of course, in the previous game. Both teams were doing a great job of taking away otherwise open layups.
Okay.
Coward off on that one.
A little bit off bounds here. Didn't try and get set. Just kind of put it up.
Nope.
May left wide open. They only have 6 to get a shot up. They got to hurry it up a little
Well
bit.
defended. And a great pullback.
Big 3 for him.
I think that's Anderson's first made 3 today.
It is today. They had 2 or 3 yesterday, but that is his first in this game. Putting that back under a 10-point lead. Oh,
yeah.
Late foul call
Late whistle,
there.
but it looked like he definitely got hit.
No, definitely seemed like the right call by the referee.
Is that on McDonald, his first?
It is. It's only his first, so nothing to worry about there. 1 at this point in the game is just a drop in the bucket. Big thing will be if Nadeau can hit 1, which he does, pushing this out to a double-digit lead for the Ospreys.
The biggest immediate question here in this quarter is going to be what CP Allen does offensively. First to break the pressure, and then can they get good looks and finish?
They got the ball.
Got it over just in time.
Great playmaking. Jacoby, great take to the rim.
Yeah. Strong finish. May have clipped Ollie in the face there on the way by.
So.
Nye Johnson, another strong, smooth take. So they're trading so far.
So far, if one team scored, the other's answering right back. Just going.
Here's May.
Great take by May.
And most importantly, the takeoff there was off his left ankle, and there was no flinching. So good sign for CP Allen.
Definitely seems like it's a little better. Just needed that break a little bit.
Berglund Simmons, Coward pulls it down again. Knocks it to Renai Beals. Nye Johnson knocks down the 3. And again, not regularly a part of his game.
No, but if they leave him open, he'll gladly take an open 3-pointer.
Good rhythm on the take. Good rhythm on the take. Strong take by Jacoby, but he overshot it. And again, Armbrae are so quick to get transition the other direction. Renai Beals gets the layup.
And that will put them up by 12 going into this break.
The other part, the feature of Armbrae is because really they're all perimeter athletes, right? So defensively, some of them have to play interior or whatever, and Nadeau and Coward in particular have gotten very good at defending, being shot blockers, shot changers, and so on. But once they get the rebound and get either the breakout dribble or the outlet, the ball is so rapidly advanced that even the best defensive transition struggles to stop it.
For sure. And what do you think?
Something going on here now with the referees. CP Allen eventually, they signaled a timeout. I'm not sure what the ref is talking to the Armbrae bench about. Armbrae coach, actually.
Not sure there. What do you think the CP Allen coach, though, is talking about his players?
Well,
too?
again, remember what I said the keys were going to be? They haven't been able to open the door yet, okay? They may get the nice take there, but they are having real trouble against Armbrae's defensive ball pressure. The help is starting to get a lot sharper and quicker. They're not getting first shots. You'll notice that every first shot is now being challenged, and they're slightly off balance, and the takes are not going in. And Armbrae are doing quite a nice job of cleaning up their D boards, right? So it's become very difficult for CP Allen to score. And if they can't score, obviously it's kind of tough to make up a 14-point deficit. But here's May on the line. And normally he's pretty much, going to be a high percentage shooter. That must have, I wonder if that was a tee. It looks to me like that must have been a technical of some kind.
I believe it is, but who was it? Was that a bench check? Is that why they were talking to them?
You know what? You get old and you forget these things. I think it might have been a player tee. But there's one where bench tee you get two and, one of them you get two and, one of them you get one and. I think it was a player tee.
Caleb getting the ball down to land, but Nay just tipping it from.
Turnover.
They gave up a lot of size there, but great job for him staying locked in on defense.
Beautiful find. Beautiful find by Nye Johnson.
He's showing off truly, even if
now
he's
they're
not
going
scoring.
into their man pressure. When we get a next break, I'll say something else.
Land going to work.
Yeah, tough take, though.
Was a tough take, a little bit off the back rim. Ospreys are trying to advance.
Anything where you can't use the backboard is a very difficult shot in traffic.
It is. Beal.
Yeah. And again, remember I said Renai kind of can spend time finding it, but if he does find that three, along with his penetration capacities, it becomes very tough to guard.
We saw it in the first half. He took quite a few attempts, only got one to fall. This half, I think he's only taken two, and he's made both. Oh, and there you go. Foul there's going to be a Jalen.
Fortunate call for CP Allen. Off ball down the low post on Berglund Simmons, I think. But because that was about to become a layup at the other end.
Has some subs for the Ospreys there. Number 2, Cale Brown, and number 21, Clark Brine coming back in.
Yeah. The other factor that's now come into play is Armbrae are now playing more freely, right? They're not that pressure they put on themselves when CP Allen, and CP Allen put the pressure on them because CP Allen opened the game extremely effectively. But now they're loose, they're getting flow, and they're very tough when they're flowing.
Big
well
block there by
defended.
Deshaun David.
Well defended.
Cheetah's got to get
Dion.
going. And Coward with a quick steal. And a great pass to Renai.
That's almost signature Dion Coward. You'll get a kind of a missed shot or a turnover or something, and then he'll get a quick steal.
Oh, and there we go. A technical foul on Dion Coward.
That is a personal foul as well. That's his second, I believe.
It would be his second.
Not sure, but again, that's what I was going to say. That conversation with the coach earlier, followed by that technical, there must have been some kind of a little bit of chatting kind of thing, and one presumes that's what led to that technical as well. So, again, your Armbrae kids have to rein it in, keep the mouths shut except to talk on D to their teammates, and the game will go on. And again, I didn't see any kind of physical kind of show or anything like that, but clearly the ref heard something.
It must have been a little bit of chatter there for sure. Cheetahs are going to have to start getting something going quickly, as the game has started to spread out a lot over the course of this quarter. If they're going to make a run back, they have to do it soon. Great take by May once again.
And again, that's signature for him, and I've never seen them play when he doesn't consistently get that against whomever is defending, including very good defenders. Tough shot. Got the foul on Jacoby, I believe.
I believe we'll have to wait.
Yep.
It's on him. That's his second, so still once again.
So they're
not
still
in
spreading
trouble.
them out fairly well. Yeah, nobody with more than 2.
Nope. Armbrae has 2 with 2. Jalen Berglund Simmons, number 6, and number 10, Dion Coward, because of the tech. And CPA only has 3 with 2. Jacoby McDonald, Keegan May, and Caleb Anderson. But no one that has enough that they even have to think about taking them out of the game.
Okay. Ollie makes the first. And the second. Yeah, this is going to be hard for CP Allen to overcome. We'll see, but they kind of had to keep the game in low single digits, and again, they had the lead there for a while, but the psychology of the game has now changed.
Oh, out of bounds, and it is going the other way.
Had Dion on a cut there, but didn't see him.
Not quite there for the Eels, but May gets the offensive rebound and instantly trying to push the pace right now. May.
I think that's Deshaun's first 3 attempt this half, I believe.
I believe so. And
There's
going
a
back
nice-
to what he's used to, that is typically more his game attacking the rim, where he gets fouled.
And that's at least 3 on Dion. The reason I say at least is remember that other tee, if it was a player tee, we don't know who it was on.
We don't know who exactly it was on, but we know it wasn't on Dion because he would have been gone by now.
I would think, yeah. Good point. Although my guess is the sub may be about to happen.
Free throws and knock the lead to under 20 points. And it is just off the mark. Dion got the rebound and taking it off. He's done a great job cleaning up the defensive boards for the Ospreys this game.
Whoop. Pretty well defended that time. He was looking for the 2-on-1, but the passing lane wasn't there.
There was a bit
Was
too
that a
long.
3 in the key call?
It was called 3 in the key. I honestly didn't see it. I wasn't looking down there, but I guess
Yeah.
it was just Dion getting a well-deserved break as Nye Johnson comes into the game for the Ospreys.
Okay, got a stagger here for Ollie. Now we've got the ball screen coming. So the double is the stagger, and then the drag is the high ball screen coming off it.
Great take there by Ollie. High off the
Nice take.
backboard. Very good take.
And thank you for emphasizing high on the backboard. Most layups are missed because they don't go high enough on the backboard.
And we've seen that today a lot, especially, I should say, from lefties between him and Jacoby. They're making sure they get high off that backboard and are making sure that they have plenty of angle. Speaking of Jacoby, he nails one right there.
Jacoby steps up and nails the 3. Whoop. Yeah. I think what happened there was on the rebound, not throwing anything, but I think May inadvertently kind of hit Cale Brown in the face, and then Cale Brown, instead of kind of just played D, kind of gave a little bit of extra emphasis on the thing and got caught.
I would definitely say only his first foul, though, so not
Yep.
in any stretch does Mayo go to the line for 2 here.
Typically, if you're trying to do the quick pickpocket thing, if you do it once, if you don't get away with it, if you try it a second time, you're probably going to foul because the guy's a little more ready now, right? And if your feet aren't moving when you try it, it's not going to work ever. Knocks him down. This is actually how CPA has to come back in this. It's got to be one possession at a time. It's got to be good D, defend, rebound, no fouls, then come back and get a good shot and get 2 or 3 points. They're not going to get a run off a bunch of steals or anything like that. Nice.
Great take by
Great
Nadeau
teamwork there. Nadeau didn't have it. 10 seconds left, kicks to Nye, makes a back cut. Nye finds them instantly, bang.
And I know it seems weird to see a lefty go right a little bit, but that was a nice offhand finish by him. That's his lesser dominant hand, went up with the left, but the guy was there, so he turned the body a little bit. Right hand, great finish by him.
The ideal thing, and at the highest levels increasingly it's worked on now, is can you make a layup with either hand off either foot? And can you change midair which hand it is? Oh, well done. Got pinned once he got under. Made it.
Yeah, great job not giving up on the play there.
Yeah,
great take by Jalen.
Jacoby definitely had size on him, but he gave him a little bit of an up fake, got enough time to create space, and went up strong and finished it.
Cheetahs are swinging around the ball. Need to get a shot up, though, and blocked by Nadeau.
Well defended by Brian.
They have 1 to get the shot up, and it is not going to happen.
Brian, very, very clean and well-timed defensive block on that one because it was a nice take, actually.
For sure. And I guess what the Cheetahs are going to start thinking about now is minute 26. We are 21 point lead. You don't necessarily want to give up, but you got to start thinking, all right, if we do lose this game, we're going to have a game at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So we're going to have a very short amount of break, especially compared to the North Nova Griffins, who were done at 4:30 today. They basically have a full almost 24 hours of rest.
Yeah, I was a little surprised actually when I saw that the number 1 seed was playing the latest game because I think they typically will have a choice, and often they'll choose the earlier of the 2 evening games.
For sure. Well, it did seem a little bit weird for the 1 seed to play. Another thing I was a little confused about was the seeding earlier where you had the 4 seed take on the 7 seed and the 6 take on the 8.
Yeah, you'll have to educate me about all those play-in things that happen tomorrow morning because I was trying to figure out what the seeding was that led to the choices of the matchups, but nice.
I'll explain that at a timeout, or when we hit the 3rd quarter, I'll try and explain that as best I can.
Yep. Ended up losing the handle near the end there, but a nice hezzy to get himself the first step on the bounce. But again, Armbrae closed very nicely at the finish.
Geez, well, 18 seconds to get a shot up. Probably be 1 decent shot, and then they'll leave
off the double,
enough time.
and then the cutter, and a late cut.
Oh.
But
try and get almost a little
off
2
balance,
for 1
well
there.
defended. Nice find by Mantley on a slash cut by Bergman Simmons, but he does not finish it.
No. Right idea by Mantley. That was a great pass by him, and even the right idea by Jalen.
Nice cut too. Yeah.
Good finish, just a little bit off. Need a little more on it.
I think his momentum just took him a little too far away from the target. Tough shot.
And Jackson is off the mark, and that will end it.
One interesting thing about that thing, Nye Johnson was in there with Clark Bryan, but Nye, for a little guy, he rebounds as well as anybody anywhere. Particularly at the offensive end, he's great at sneaking and getting no boards, but even there defensively, I mean, you know, he plays way above his height. Okay, you were going to make a quick point about the play-ins thing.
Seeding, yeah. So I found it a little bit weird because we think we know the seeding and how it went off. But the weird thing was this morning when I came, it was the number 4 seeded Horton Griffins versus the number 7 seeded Riverview Ravens, which isn't a necessarily a weird thing, but a little bit off, as if they are the true 4 seed, then they should have taken on number 8 seeded CEC Cougars.
Yeah.
And another thing, and then after that, it was the number 8 seeded CEC Cougars versus the number 6 seeded North Nova Griffins right after that.
So it's almost like, you know, your typical thing on the winner bracket is, you know, top seed gets boom. The matchup is based on the top seed. It almost sounds like maybe they're basing the crossover on the lower seed of the two.
It does almost seem like that, yes.
Yeah, speculation on my part, but I'm just, you know, but that's part of what confused me when I looked at it, and I don't know their formula because, you know, but interesting.
Yeah, no, definitely interesting, and it did equal a good game. Horton Riverview wasn't the best one, but CEC North Nova, an extremely entertaining game. We had back-to-back very close ones for that one and the Millwood Citadel game that was right before this.
Yeah, but you would have anticipated that first game to have been closer than it ended up being, right? I think.
I did not actually. So what happened was the last time CEC and North Nova had faced off, North Nova had won by 20 points.
Yeah, no, I mean the game before that though.
Horton Riverview.
Yeah, you thought that game would have been closer, yeah?
I thought it would have been close, as I know Horton is a much higher seed. Sam Moore was out that game, who's been by far their leading offensive player. And Riverview showed some really good things in the Millwood game, being able to hold in kind of for 2 quarters before finally Millwood pulled away.
Yeah.
So I was expecting a very close contest. And the same thing kind of happened there.
Yeah.
Riverview held on until the end of the third, but then end of third to fourth, it was just they could not hold on. Started off with a quick miss for the Cheetahs, and now they are full court pressing the Ospreys, trying to get probably some quick turnovers to turn this around.
Okay, just that was more of a loose show than real pressure.
No, you're definitely right there. It did look like they were, and then they just kind of backed off right away.
Nope. Oh. Ollie never really got his feet under him in that one.
No. Great pass there by Jacoby. David.
And Deshaun, it looked good on the release. I mean, he, you know, to give him credit, his threes today have been well taken. They're smooth.
For sure. Armbrae rolling up the ball.
Whoop.
Oh.
You know, got up in the air and decided to pass, but managed to complete it.
Yeah.
No boards on that one for Armbrae.
Deshaun looking to see what the defense will give him. A little bit short.
Right now, the Armbrae kids, they're going into a little bit of a mental lull. My guess is if that goes on another couple of possessions, that's going to favor CPL, and then we may see a quick timeout by Armbrae. Just remind them this game has still got a long time to go.
For sure. And we'll have to see what Armbrae does in these next few possessions for sure. As if the next couple possessions do go right, CPL can definitely get in it. They just need to get a couple stops in a row and a couple good offensive possessions.
Now, if that happens, everything I just said doesn't count.
Yeah, pretty much. You cannot leave. You can't even leave him semi-open. He has to be contested. They kind of hesitated a little to close him out right away, and he instantly pulled that for cash.
No.
A lot of time left. May gets the shot off. Did not go in.
Yeah, May doing everything he can to. Oh, found him.
Wide open feels.
Remember I mentioned Coward from about foul line to top of the key or top of the 3 to under the blocks of the other end. Finds people as well and with touch as anybody you're going to see.
You know, that was great. Oh, and what a pump fake by David. Shot was off the mark, but great idea. Hold on, Armbrae's number 4, Ollie Nadeau.
Yeah,
That's
didn't see it, but not popular with your Armbrae players or bench. But I didn't see it, so I can't, speculate one thing or another.
Same boat. I also did not see. That's his second, so still not in any trouble. He's perfectly good.
Yeah.
Land trying to go to work and not quite there. A little bit of a rough one. Had to try and like almost fade the hook shot over Nadeau.
Yeah, I think didn't finish it, and there's Dion. Again, that under the basket, we think we've just gotten a possession, and suddenly Dion takes it back from us. But I think Johnson's read on that one, he saw he had a mismatch of quickness, figured he could get to the board, just didn't complete it.
Another foul on Jacoby McDonald. That's only his third, so he's not in terrible trouble. And we're getting some subs in here for the Ospreys. Number 3, Elijah Mantley, and number 21, Clark Brine coming back in. They've been in fairly consistently, especially Elijah Mantley. He's played a good chunk of
and
the
again,
game.
I think what the coach is trying to do now, they know that there's another game tomorrow, because of the way the game opened, Armbrae had to work extremely hard physically and mentally to kind of regain their composure, take this to where they wanted it to be. And so it makes sense to kind of get those other kids into the game, but also to get the kids who are going to be starters and so on out of the game, get a blow, kind of recover a little bit, etc.
For sure.
2-2-1.
And that is another foul on Nadeau.
Reach called on Nadeau.
That's his third.
With this much time left, despite the lead that they have right now, Armbrae does not want to get into that kind of a thing where you're getting these quick, easy touch foul calls. Keep your hands off, move your feet. 7:17 is a long time, but it's also a short time. You have a big lead, 25. Make CPA work very, very hard for every aspect of every possession. Do not foul.
No.
And particularly don't foul with reach touch stuff early.
We'll be curious. As Armbrae, they will have the shortest break, or a slightly shorter break than Citadel, but still a fair amount of break. But they will have to decide, are they going to try and get some of these young guys in? Because another thing is, yes, you're giving the older guys a break by putting in some of the guys that will be back next year, but you're also getting them ready because you know they're going to have to step up next year.
Yeah. Well, of course, the real key is that other than Nye and Jalen, all of their kids are next year. So, you know, they're actually not an aged team.
No.
They're talented. There's a lot of talent, but it's and they're experienced because they've played pretty major minutes at young ages. But they're not a veteran kind of team as far as grade in school.
No, for sure not. They aren't. Full of guys like, for example, CP Allen last year, loaded of guys that had been through the ringer at Provincials for so many years, especially their group with Thurber and Walker and Van Ray. And Land nails a triple.
Land is showing us another dimension of his game today.
That's his second. I think he's 2 for 3, still fairly efficient from deep.
But part of that CP Allen group is that, you know, they were, you know, when they were in their grade 10 year, there were senior leaders, but 11 and 12, that core was pretty much, you know, even in 11, they were the core kind of thing.
100%. The only ones I could think of is when they were in 11, the only other guys that kind of were seniors that were super big on that team were Kai Palov, who was their point guard, and Micah Anderson, who is the older brother here of Caleb
Exactly,
Anderson.
yes. But, you know, they've had, you know, 3 in a row is a very tough run.
It is. I don't know of really any other school 2-3-peat before, and May went down. Looks like he got hit in the face a little bit there.
Well, St. Pat's back in the days when I'll get to that in a sec.
David drills his 4th 3 of the night.
I repeat, he's looked very, very smooth and comfortable with that 3 today. What I was going to say, St. Pat's back in the days of T-Bear and Tyler Riches and that crew did have 3 in a row, and they were quite dominant. And QE may have prior to that when they had their very strong teams as well. I'm not sure of that part.
Who did you say? Sorry, I did not hear you.
Yeah. Got himself a little sped up. Whoa.
Great take by Dion.
Nope. Good no call.
Keegan's looking for the charge there, but I think that was the right call by the officials not
Yeah,
to
can't
call
blame May
anything.
for trying, but that was a good no call.
Great pass by May. Deshaun off the mark.
Got
and
the foul there. Yep, legit. That's a reach.
So number 3, Caleb Anderson. That's his third, so gotta be a little bit careful, but not too bad. And
Yeah.
they have Jalen.
Anderson was upset, and he certainly wasn't trying to foul, but you know he did. Similar to when Nye ended up kind of getting called for the trip earlier when he was really trying to get around the guy, but you know the refs have to call that.
For the Ospreys, we got their senior duo coming back into the game. Number 5, Nate Johnson, and number 6, Jalen Berglund Simmons.
Yeah, pretty much the Armbrae really with that 3 by Dion after I said about the lull there. I mean, since that point, they're playing pretty much the way they have to at both ends. They're defending much more disciplined now, and you know, CP Allen are playing again with offensive discipline and knocking down shots. There's Jacoby, but they're kind of playing the game the way they have to play to bring it home, essentially.
So that was a great three by him.
CP Allen continues to compete, continues to seek ways to, yeah, and you know that here they go, another stop. So if they can continue to score at a very high percentage of their possessions, they can creep back.
Land going to work.
Well defended.
Good steal there by Nadeau. And Jaquan trying to poke it away there.
Almost relaxed a little bit too much too early.
CP Allen just starting kind of the pass around. Deep
Now,
three for Jalen, but not quite
that's not the way Armbrae wants to play their O with time score. They want to move the ball more, move the D, look for penetration, look for a chance to get on the line.
For sure. And we saw that yesterday especially, that how much they would pass and all that. That was a big part to how they won by so much against CEC.
There's Renai. Notice that long, strong, low take. Very difficult to keep him from getting where he wants to go when he includes that in his move.
Oh! Deshaun David tried to hit him with a poster, but just a little bit over.
Whoop. Now, Elijah's staying down. One of the things you hope for at this situation is nobody gets hurt. Everybody's able to come back and play, play to more as close to full strength as they can.
Not very much.
May seems to have recovered from the ankle, although there's no question in my mind that it's giving him some grief, but he's playing through. That was kind of a tangle. Did you see, did Elijah fall awkwardly or anything like that, or just?
I honestly could not see over there. I saw him land, but I did not see if it was overly awkward or not. Timeout was called by the Ospreys to give Elijah Matley a little bit more time on the floor and just to breathe.
Armbrae took a timeout trying to get the kids away, letting Elijah have some space and not getting too caught up. He's walking awkwardly.
No, that's not like Keegan earlier. That is definitely something I would say that'll be a little bit more serious and probably take him out for the rest of this game.
Yeah, it looks like he's favoring the right leg. Can't tell whether it's knee, ankle, or something higher. Maybe his back. Again, you hope that it's momentary, that he'll be able to recover and be able to be at his best tomorrow. It's pretty, at this point, pretty much we can say it's going to be Armbrae versus Citadel, and that will probably be one heck of a basketball game.
No.
And somebody maybe who just looks at scores, the last time Armbrae and Citadel met, it was like a total, a major blowout, really. with Armbrae winning easily, but it was one of those. It's a total anomaly. Those teams tomorrow, it's going to be a very competitive game.
I would definitely say so. I will be curious to see how this is going to go. We now land getting fouled by Stewart, but we kind of have the matchup set up for tomorrow now. And I'll read them out to you. Around 8 a.m., we will have a matchup between the
Foul on Will Stewart there. Sorry, interrupted you. Carry on.
No problem. Land just off on that one. But tomorrow, we kind of know what the matchups will look like now. At 8 a.m., we'll have a matchup between the 4-seeded Horton Griffins and the number 2-seeded Millwood Knights will face off to hopefully make the bronze medal game. And then at 10, we'll have the number 6-seeded North Nova Griffins taking on the number 5-seeded CPA Allen Cheetahs. And those teams have played each other early this year. I'm pretty sure it was a fairly close game between the North Nova Griffins and the Cheetahs. So I'm expecting nothing less from this game, from their game tomorrow. And then we know Riverview versus CEC for that last place game to figure out who can pull off one win in this tournament. Brent and I with a good take. And then gold game will be at 4 p.m., which appear will be Armbrae versus Citadel.
Okay, and while you were letting people know about that, Renai Beals did another one of his kind of signature penetration and finish, and the game is winding down. But it credits CPL. Their approach to this game was pretty much perfect, you know, and the way they opened. And again, when you and I were talking before the game, the question is over 40, right? Because you're the underdogs. You're an underdog for a reason. You know, the team you're up against have a lot of weapons, and part of their key core way of playing is to put constant, intense pressure on you with the ball and in the passing lanes. I think actually CPL has handled that aspect fairly well. But over 40 minutes, it's just very tough to sustain that level and caliber of excellence against that kind of an onslaught. It's just very difficult.
It's very difficult. And Armbrae is going to be a team where if you are CPL, which are simply Armbrae is extremely talented, you don't have quite that same star power and offensive power. You need to be almost perfect, and you need to find a way to slow them down. And they could keep up for a while, but it's a bit hard to keep that up the whole game. And we saw they kind of slowed it down second half. They kind of ran out of juice. But still, nothing to be mad about for the CPA and Cheetahs. Still a great showing, and they still have a chance to win a medal.
Yep. Knocked down the 3. So, again, CP Allen, they're still competing. They're not going to win. They know that, but they're going to try to make this as competitive an ending as possible.
100%. Jaquan Jackson was the one who nailed the 3 there.
The other aspect of Armbrae that makes them so tough is that they're a lot of quickness, very intense defensive pressure, and they got a lot of guys with different offensive skills. So they can beat you inside, they can beat you outside. They move pretty well without the ball when they're playing at their best, and when they move without the ball finds them quickly. They opened this game by actually getting a lot of very good opportunities, but couldn't finish anything. Couldn't get the ball to go in, and CP Allen exploited that well. Played good O themselves. Had a lead there for a while, but then once Armbrae got that breakthrough, then they started to flow, relaxed a little bit, and then it became very, very difficult for CP Allen. Nice find.
Very flashy pass there for Dion, but also very effective finding a wide open Beals. And now I'm looking at number 3, Elijah Mantley. Appears to be back on the bench with not much tape or anything on his lower leg, so I'd say hopefully he will be good to play tomorrow.
Yeah, it almost looked when he was over at the medical table like he was sort of rubbing his lower back kind of thing, so he may well have landed really awkwardly on his back. Ooh.
Bit too much on that shot, but Jaquan going there, lays it in for 2.
Yeah, Dion made a good choice there. He couldn't have defended it. Don't take the foul. Let him have the hoop. The game is, the margin is such that you can play it out.
CP Allen's going to still continue up their press, at least Jaquan Jackson. Armbrae will either have to turn it over or still put up a shot.
My guess is they'll run out the 24 and then
I would assume so.
Let
Yeah,
CP Allen have the last possession.
here's what they do, and that's what Dion just did. He's handed the ball off to Jaquan Jackson, and that will end it 92-71, a 21-point win to put the Armbrae Ospreys in the championship game against the Citadel Phoenix, as the CP Allen Cheetahs will go on 10 o'clock tomorrow to take on the North Nova Griffins.
Okay, and full marks both ways. You know, we've talked about it several times, but CP Allen came out and competed in the manner that they had to in order to try to make this game an upset possibility. And that sustained for a fair amount of time. Then Armbrae eventually, just the quickness, the talent, the depth, whatever took over. They got their run, and, you know, from there on, they played it out. So, final tomorrow. Citadel has already earned their ticket. Now Armbrae, yeah, notice Elijah's got ice on the lower back. So I think that's what we were speculating is probably what happened.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a heck of a game. And nobody, like I say, from the Metro situation, who looked at the last matchup they had and the score of that should make any conclusions from that other than Citadel are going to be extremely highly motivated. And these teams really match up against each other quite well. It should be an extremely competitive game. And I believe we've done this for Maritime Athletic Profiles. I believe Eastlink are covering the final tomorrow. And the semi and the final, yeah, our producer Josh confirms that. So I really enjoyed meeting you and working with you, and hopefully that's mutual. And I won't see you tomorrow in this capacity, but it's been good.
It's been a great time. See ya.
Okay.